Anilji, I would request you to share your views both on a school opening and a digital education, and we want to hear what is happening in Odisha.
Thank you, Vitaji. In Odisha, academic session ends in March. April is the time for new admission, evaluation of exam papers, and completing other formalities such as promotion, followed by summer vacation. Schools usually reopen on June 17. In the meantime, government has extended the summer vacation up to July in view of COVID-19. Government has supplied textbooks and worksheets to children during this lockdown period. It has also started online courses in only 3 coastal districts of Odisha through WhatsApp. Basically, government has instructed teachers to supply some materials as home tasks through WhatsApp and take follow-up action. I was inquiring about the progress of the program with some teachers. As per them, they are just sending worksheets developed by the government to students and inquiring with students whether they are facing any difficulties or not. But most of the cases, children are not doing this assignment. First of all, about 30% children have Android mobile phones in these 3 districts. That too, in many cases, mobile phones are not generally used by their parents or uncle in their work site. Therefore, many children do not have access to the mobile site. Therefore, imparting online course is a failure program besides other pedagogical limitations. This is the situation in coastal belt of Odisha. Government has not done anything so far for other part of Odisha. Online courses are not suitable to Odisha because it is an underdeveloped state and many people do not have mobile sets. Besides, mobile connectivity is also an issue in Odisha. Wherever connectivity will be there, the success of online courses will depend on the ability of parents to guide their work. In view of the literacy situation in Odisha, it has no use. Regarding reopening of schools, government has declared that school will be closed until 30th of July. And in the first week of July, they will review the situation and take decision. The biggest concern so far has been lack of transparency in decision making of government. No one knows what the government is planning to do. There is hardly any stakeholder consultation. Since online courses is not a viable option, government should go for online courses. Should not go for online courses. Government should try to reopen schools even if it is late. If government will reopen the school, it will face the following challenges. Number 1, around 10,000 schools have been converted into temporary medical camps. It is quite unlikely this school building can return to their normal state. Because of spread of COVID-19 is expected to peak in July. Around 1,700 schools, residential schools run by STSC Development Department, that also faces the similar challenges. Government may face difficulties in opening the residential school in the near future. Since more than 5 lakh migrant people have already returned and many people will be returning gradually to their native places, there is possibility of increasing number of school-going children in our village. In this situation, is our school system prepared to accommodate them? That is a big question. The situation of school infrastructure is not in a good shape. Government was also trying to close school having less enrollment. If decision will be implemented, more than 6,000 schools will be closed. The situation will be further complicated. However, the minister said that government will take admission of children in schools which we are supposed to close in view of low enrollment. There are infrastructure problems in Odisha, which are essential in the context of COVID-19. 15% schools do not have functional drinking water facilities. Around 10% of schools do not have functional toilet for boys. Similarly, around 7% schools do not have functional toilets for girls. Only 45.2% schools have wash facilities. And only 6.6% schools are complying with RTE norms in Odisha. From the above data, one can imagine the challenges government is going to face for opening schools. This is about the situation in Odisha. Shall I talk about also private school?
I think आप अनिल जी थोड़ा प्राइवेट स्कूल के बारे में भी बात करिए, स्पेशली द फी के बारे में, क्योंकि पता नहीं कनेक्टिविटी फिर बाद में कैसा हो जाएगा. और लोगों की रिक्वेस्ट है अनिल जी, एक और रिक्वेस्ट है कि आप अपना वीडियो अगर ओपन कर सके तो लोग आपको देख भी पाएंगे अगर कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं हो तो.
Regarding waiving of fees in private school, Our Chief Minister just made an appeal to private school to waive off fees for 3 months due to COVID-19. This is because of the pressure of Parents Association. No notification, nothing has been issued regarding this. No private school waive off fees so far as our knowledge is concerned. Parent Association has filed a PIL in the High Court. Recently, government issued notice to start the process of admission. Parents Association is opposing it, but I am confused regarding this decision by Parent Association. Since most of the private schools survival depend upon fees they collect from parents, how do we expect that they will not collect fees from the students? If we are recognizing private school in our system, we cannot say that they will not collect fees. This is my personal view. Then I have a few suggestions. Shall I also?
Yes, Anilji. Haan.
Then government should provide a financial package immediately to improve infrastructure facilities in school immediately. Government should form a committee consisting of members of civil society, education experts, representative of teachers union, and health expert, and start planning to reopen the schools. Online course classes is not alternative to regular classes. Therefore, green zones should be identified by district administration and start reopening school as soon as possible. Eventually, yellow zones districts which may be turned into green zone in next few days or weeks should be allowed to open. Strict social distancing measures should be implemented and to limit the number of students class may run in 2 hours to 4 hours shifts. A database should be kept for migrant children and guardian aid would be issued for a specific school on a case-to-case basis to address the infrastructural issues. In case of red and orange zones, it might not be possible to open these schools anytime. Thus, there is a need to invest public funds to fill technological gap and ensure that students continue to learn. And however, children will suffer anyway in red zones and children of residential school. When life is threatened, we cannot say education should be provided compulsory to children. Government should scrap notification for closing schools because till date, the government minister has only declared that admissions should be taken in school, but it has not declared that circular should be scrapped. So I think it is high time that government should scrap that circular or merging the schools. Thank you.
Thank you, Anilji, for sharing the reality from the Odisha, one of the state that has a huge migrant children coming back to their home. And as you were rightly talking about, facilities not there for even having a healthy and proper school. Let's leave the digital devices aside. So I think now we will move to the last, and I think in the chat box, we have also received many questions related to this question about the school fee, and I think just I want to add 2 points to this so that a panelist can reflect on. One is that private schools are charging fee or asking for the fee while when the schools are not open, and therefore they have started the online education so that there is some engagement with the children. But at the same time, what we have also been hearing that private schools have begun to cut the salary of the teachers and their staff, as well as many of the teachers have been because they don't have money to support the teacher and the staff. So in this situation, both from the teacher's point of view and also from the parents' understanding how it needs to be done and what is happening in your state vis-a-vis school fee, primarily with the private schools we are talking about. Anil Pradhanji, can we have your view on a school fee and how the private schools are functioning in the state?
Actually, Agrawalji and Praveshji have already told about the situation. Here in Odisha, we have few big schools, few big private schools, but most of the schools are small private schools. If they will not, I think if they will not collect fees from the children, it will be difficult for them to manage the schools. So what will happen, I don't know, but private school association is getting stronger also, and they are fighting at the high court level, and the government is remain silent. And once our chief minister declared that, not declared, he appealed all the government private school that 3 months, so fees should not be collected for 3 months, but no guidelines and nothing, no instruction has been issued by the government. So they are not serious. Actually, government is not serious about this private schools, because as you know, most of our bureaucrats and the politicians, they send their children to private school only. That's why they have soft corner for them. And this is about the situation in Odisha. But parents association are demanding that there should not be fee, because school may not open in near future. That's why they will take admission of children, and why they will collect fees from right now. So that's why they are opposing this admission issue. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Anil ji. I think I wish to thank each of the panelists for share their reflection on these three critical issues. In the chat box, we have received a lot of reflections, and in fact, sort of aligning with what is mentioned, and there are also a few questions that have come up. So I will take only a few critical questions that have been shared by our participant to the panelists. I think you can decide which question you want to take, but I think they can be, each one of you can reflect on that. Anil ji and Prabir ji, there are 2-3 questions that are probably you can reflect on. One question has come, this is also a time to reflect on how do we integrate a digital education as part of a school education, because so far we have primarily depended on a face-to-face. So people have asked, don't you think this is also an opportunity to even train our teachers to use this kind of tools for the future? And second question has come in, if the schools have to be reopened even after 3 and 4 months, in your view, what are the specific steps the state government needs to take, given that a large number of schools are a quarantine center? So these are the 2 big questions have come in. And third, which came in just now, that many of our higher education institutions have declared these 2 semesters as where no education will happen. Why can't a school can also decide in a similar way? So these are the 3 critical questions have come up from the participant. I would like you to reflect on that. First Anil ji and then Praveen ji.
एक्चुअली देखिए, अभी जो उड़ीसा का सिचुएशन है, स्कूल बंद होगा, ज्यादा दिन बंद हो जाएगा तो जरूर जो चिल्ड्रेन का ड्रॉप आउट हो जाएगा, उनका चाइल्ड लेबर हो जाएंगे, और जो वो सब सिचुएशन है, एंड इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटीज में वो शामिल हो जाएंगे, वही सिचुएशन है. तो इसलिए हमारा आरटीई फोरम तरफ से हमने गवर्नमेंट को भी सजेशन दिया था कि चिल्ड्रन शुड बी एंगेज्ड इन डिफरेंट वेज, इवन इफ इट इज नॉट थ्रू द रेगुलर स्कूल प्रोसेस, but they should be engaged. Otherwise, in Odisha, as you know, we have 23% people belongs to tribal communities, so the children of tribal community and other backward communities will be engaged in this economic activities if they will be not engaged, and child marriage will be promoted, child labor will be promoted like that. That's why we suggested government that government should involve civil society organization and devise some mechanism so that the children, even if they are not coming to school, they will be engaged in a systematic manner. But we don't know what is happening at the government level, because there is absolutely no transparency in the decision making. That is one thing. Then in Odisha, I have already told you that 10,000 schools have been converted into TMC, temporary medical camps. So क्या करा जाएगा वो पता नहीं है, क्या वो तो अभी तो पूरा खाली नहीं होगा, क्योंकि अभी तो वो जो बसु जी already told that coronavirus patients that infection is increasing in Odisha and West Bengal right now, because this migrant population are returning to their home. So that is a big problem for Odisha. Then we have residential schools run by STC Development Department. That is also a problem because the residential school cannot be open right now in near future also. So government have to think. Government has to consult different stakeholders to plan for different things, but it is not responding. Then another issue is about this school closure and merger. If that school closure will happen, then more than 6,000 schools will be closed. Then most of the schools are in tribal area. So the tribal people will be mostly affected, and tribal and disabled and girls, they will be mostly affected. So government should actually organize consultation with teachers union, civil society organization, and other experts, and the medical department also. So these are my views.
Mobile पे ना बात करते हैं. Just to take
Regarding
on from
digital
here.
education, actually, in Odisha, it is not possible because connectivity is a problem, and other things like availability of mobile phone, computer is also.
Sure. Thank you, Anil ji.